I think so. Yeah, kid. Let's get it. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. We go, ooh la la. On a Friday. Best day. Best day. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes when the people don't be acting flaky, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you diddy to the left and exit stage left, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if it's not your first time, then you know how I do. You know how I plainly start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. Tiff, what's the word? Because it's Friday, it's the weekend is here. It's Father's Day weekend for those that celebrate Father's Day. Y'all know, just like Mother's Day, I don't celebrate Easter, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, none of that shit. But I don't knock nobody that does celebrate. So if you are going to be celebrating this weekend and you a father, hopefully you're a good father. Because we know it's a lot of deadbeats, it's a lot of scum of the earth, scumbag, low-level ass, operating, functional fathers. Just like mothers. And ain't no running from it, and ain't no, you know what I mean, not saying what it is. But shout outs to the good fathers. Shout outs to the fathers who are active. Shout outs to the fathers who are present. Shout outs to the fathers that, you know, play an important role, because your role is important. Obviously, we know that, you know, households and children perform well, succeed more, and get into less bullshit when it's a two-parent home. And shout outs to both of my step-pops, right? I don't know my biological father. If you rock with the channel, I appreciate you. But this ain't no new news. Shit that I want to talk about, we talk about. Shit that I think is a little too personal or on the personal side, then we don't discuss it. So I don't know my biological pops, but I had a step-pops who is who's passed away now. So rest in peace to my step-pops. Then my mom's, you know, got married to Papa G, and he is still alive and he's still with us. So coming up, although I was a little hard-headed, I had two. And although still end up going to prison, still end up being with the shits, still end up being, you know, a not productive member to society in the beginning. Now, I do think I'm a productive member to society. I think I try to pay it forward. And shout outs to those individuals that do that. I know on the internet, which sometimes is not a real place, it's like, oh, simping ain't easy. Like anything goes when it comes to hoes, because pimping ain't easy. Now, I reverse it like a circle. Like a circle. I'm being funny, but I'm not. Now watch the show. Anything goes when it comes to hoes, because simping ain't easy. You'll hear those terms and those terminologies thrown out there. And it comes from men. Some may be a little bitter. Some may be not doing that well in the women's department. And some may be doing well. So I won't put the whole blanket over everybody that says this, because some do have valid points. And then some is just regurgitating what somebody else said. It sound good, but it's in their own personal experience, it don't really have no basis. So for me, right, I do think a lot of niggas be simping, but every man that's in a stepfather's role is not simping. And I think about the two who I just mentioned. One who's passed, may Allah have mercy on him. The other is still alive, and I respect the hell out of him, right? And then I even played the role, right? And for the two small boys that I played the role in, y'all know I talked about this on the channel a lot. No jail time, no gang activity, not a menace to society, finished their education, went to high school, then went to college, one of them. No unwarranted babies, right? Like, you know what I mean? And through the leadership, mentorship, and the man, example that I gave them, at least I want to take some credit for it, they have done well for themselves. So I think like, if I didn't step into the role, blackface, what's the word? If I didn't step into the role, how would they have, become? Who would they have be? That's not to say that they wouldn't have been or became the men that they are now and still becoming to be. But I know I played a pivotal role in there. Them seeing a man, what a man's supposed to do, how I give it up, how I move, and how I got down, right? So if you are in that role, when you on these internet streets, running through these social media platforms, and you scroll and you see another man, like, oh yeah, and anybody that's taking care of another man's kids, and woo, 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 and it doesn't all have validity. Some of it do, when the woman, I won't even say it's unworthy of it, because you choose who you choose. You do play a part in this. You know what I mean? And just because she was single mom don't mean that they not worthy, etc. So it is a slippery slope. I will say that it can be, not for me, but I understand when other men say it's a rewardless role, right? Because you're not going to get no reward for it. You're not going to get no pat on the back. When the job is over, etc., nobody's going to come to you and say, yo, you did a good job, thank you for stepping in. But it's the same as a coach. It's the same as somebody that mentor kids, right? And I work with kids, right? Not all the time, but some. Ages 14, 21, in that age bracket. And so I'm around the youth, right? A lot of them don't got fathers. A lot of them have fathers. So when I say a lot of them don't have fathers, I mean present. A lot of them is locked up. They stuck in their second childhood. They doing what they do. So you really just there, but you're not really there. You're not leading from the front. You're not showing them how to go from being boys to men. So it is a void. And like Tupac said, and even though I can't get the first line, but it's like they showed a young brother love, so you ran with the dogs. You go to the street to look for the love or the attention from other men that you may lack in your household. Just like they say, a young girl, your daughters, they may go seek the love that they're supposed to get from their father from various different men at various different ages. So I don't want to go in a long soliloquy about, Father's Day, because I don't even celebrate. But salute to the fathers that do celebrate. Salute to the present fathers doing a good job, and salute to the stepfathers. Don't buy into the internet shit of you being the simp and you a sucker because you stepped in. If you love the woman, you think she's worthy, then, obviously the kid's going to come with that package. You can't deal with her and not deal with the kid. You can't. If you don't think she's worthy and you don't think she's deserving, then by all means, why are you even dealing with her? If she ain't worthy of your time, of your energy, of your resources, then why the fuck you dealing with her? You need to be getting on. And it's the last thing that I'll say before I get to the next thing, because this is another argument, and it's a valid argument. Why go to a ready-made family and take care of somebody else's kids when you can start your own family? That's if you ain't got no kids. So I agree with that. You know what I mean? They probably shouldn't be on the top of the list. We all have, regret or choices and things that we did in the past that may still follow us for a little time, even in our adult years. That's just the way life goes. Ask any porn star, right? Female porn star. I'll just use female because I haven't really seen no man come out and say, hey, when I was in my early 20s and up to my 30s, I was busting a lot of cheeks. I was getting paid on camera, like lights, camera, action. While you busting cheeks down that they regretted. But I have heard women and female porn stars say, "Yeah, I wish that shit could be scrubbed from the internet." Well, that may be true. You may have a change of heart now, but what can you do? You're gonna probably have to live with that for a little while. So just be mindful, make better decisions. Speaking of fathers and parenthood and parents being present, parents not being present, let's get to this unfortunate story right here, because this is crazy, shit crazy, but I'm not surprised when you put the beat on, unfortunately, right? I'm not surprised. It's sad nonetheless. I'm not desensitized, and that's why I often quote Cam a lot. I be playing, but I don't. Niggas get killed every day, B. You strong, right? You could take it, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could take it. And I reverse it and I flip it and bounce it on some Raekwon and Go shit. Hear niggas hear you say one word, then they want to flip it and bounce it. You know what I mean? These happy-go-lucky niggas, it's like, you know what I mean? Every time they see you, they want to pop a little crystal, right? I'm being funny. But I flip it and bounce it, and instead of saying, niggas get killed every day, B, unfortunately, babies get killed every day, B. You know what I mean? Babies is dying. And when I say babies, anywhere from, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5, 6, 7, all the way up till 10, 11. You know what I mean? 12, 13, teenagers, right? And unfortunately, coming out of the Bronx, this is a story. So I guess the child was killed around Mother's Day time, but I guess the way the family went to the police station, etc., and how the process works, sometimes we have flawed systems and and processes that you got to go through before you can actually get some things done. And it's not, at least until the reports that I read and try to get information before I jumped on live. And we're not going to be here long. Real quick before I get into that story, let me check the fourth quarter because Pacers was winning. It's tied up right now. Pacers in Pacers in OKC. OKC go down this game. It might be quiet for them. Anyway, so they finally was able to put the missing reporting on June 8th. We on Friday the 13th right now. Shh, shh. You see the thumbnail if you on YouTube of me holding the Jason knife. And this is the story right here.
Callously threw the child over the bridge to his death.
Crazy.
Those chilling words revealed by prosecutors in the Bronx Thursday night, drawing a gasp and quiet sobs from the toddler's grandmother as she listened on in court.
Crazy.
Her son, Arias Williams, in front of her, accused of doing the unthinkable after kidnapping little Montrell on Mother's Day.
Did he tell you what happened to Montrell?
At first he didn't say nothing. He was like, oh, he good, don't worry about it. He's all right.
But after an entire month of searching for her 2-year-old grandson, Montrell, prosecutors say that was never true. Authorities in court said they recovered chilling video from the night of May 10th, showing the father putting his son on the ground for a moment, then suddenly picking him up while he was still alive and throwing him off the Bruckner Bridge into the Bronx River below. For the next month, the dad went dark. The toddler's 17-year-old...
I'm going to just stop it right there. Give some commentary. I said I'm not shocked and amazed when you put the beat on. That is one of the sayings on Populous TV. It comes from Bismarck if you're a little young, and we'll get to, the young heads in hip-hop, the old heads in hip-hop, who's right, who's wrong, although I'm going to stand on my ground and say the old heads is right. But we'll get to that in a minute. I only point that out to say, it comes from Bismarck when you put the beat on, you will be shocked and amazed. And I reversed it, flipped it, and bounced it like I just said it on the purple tape. And I said, when you put the beat on, I'm not shocked and amazed. And I'm not shocked and amazed. I'm from New York. Obviously, we've seen the Twin Towers fall. We've seen Bin Laden killed. We've seen the first black president. We've seen mothers put their kids in the oven. We've seen, fathers do the unthinkable to their daughters. We've seen all type of shit. We've seen the soldier choke a nigga out, get off, blackface, right? We've seen the most, right? And unfortunately, we've seen parents unalive their kids. We even seen kids unalive their parents. So when I seen the story of The dude killing his 2-year-old son, allegedly, right? Kidnapped the kid on Mother's Day. Surprise, this is what you get for Mother's Day. And I'm not being funny or trying to be desensitized, but just think of the diabolicalness, like Bismarck, the diabolicalness of doing it on Mother's Day. Then a whole month go by, the grandmother, the moms is trying to put a missing report and trying to go to the police station like, yo, my fucking 2-year-old son is missing. Obviously, he didn't just run away. Kids just don't, not at that age. If you're a little autistic, and nobody's paying attention, you can fall in the pool, you can run in the street, probably get bit by a dog. Like, it's things of that nature that has happened. And it's not far-fetched. But a whole month, as the days go, I think, what's the statistic? Same way in 48 hours, right? For those that watch that show, I do sometimes and on occasions. After a murder is, committed, 48 hours is like the timeline, you know what I mean, of the case getting solved. And if it's not solved within those first 48 hours, as each hour passes after that, it becomes increasingly harder to solve, right? Same thing in this case. You say, damn, a month go by, the child is only 2 years old. Child, can't do pretty much nothing for themselves, right? And, to find out that the child was, allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, thrown off the, the bridge over the Bruckner into the river is, it's disheartening. It's like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, why do that when you don't have to? I get it. She ain't giving you no visitation rights. She said you a piece of shit ass nigga, and you probably are. To do something like that, you probably are a piece of shit. That's why I often quote Slick Rick, like, ladies, gentlemen, and lowlifes. You a scum of the earth piece of shit ass nigga. You kill your own kid? Come on. Drop him at the fire station. I respect it even if you put him in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? Say he was because how did you justify after, now I know why, because he kidnapped. It's not like we gave him to you and then you just came back like, I don't know what happened to him. You took him, right? Allegedly. Then when the grandma like, is small boy all right? Oh, yeah. Then you go dark. So they arrested him, they got him. A lot of people in the comments, a lot of the women is like, I hope my fellow, prisoners do him dirty. And maybe he will get done dirty. Maybe he won't. That's not a guarantee. I know a lot of y'all think that just because a person may have raping you or did some stuff to an underage girl. It happens, but it's not a guarantee. It's not an automatic. It's not an automatic that somebody just going to come do something to them because they committed those type of crimes. It happens, but it's not a given. So, you can have wishful thinking, but it's not a given. But again, why do it? Why do it? To punish the moms because she hurt you? And I had training all this week. It's not really a topic, but I think it kind of ties as I go. Y'all know my show is unscripted and we authentic over here. Like we don't have no set format. I don't even have a lot of topics listed tonight because my day was so crazy. In fact, the whole week was crazy. But the whole week for my job, we had training. And yesterday and today's training was dealing with trauma, how it affects people, the flight, fight, freeze, and fawn response. And what I learned is none of these responses that we have to trauma is voluntary. Meaning like you can't choose. The body does it on its own. And I didn't know that. For instance, you come out your building, right? Come out your apartment, your building, you're getting ready for work, you're going to school, you're going to the studio, you're going to sling some bud, you're going to do whatever you're going to do. And as soon as you lock your door, step down off the porch or wherever you live, it's a raging big ass pit bull right there, right? You don't notice. And when you come out your house, like, oh shit, it's a fucking pit bull. Some people are gonna immediately tense up and get ready to fucking get ready for the attack. Some people immediately are gonna haul ass and run faster than Superman, or the flash, some people are gonna freeze like a deer in the headlights, like, oh shit, and you're gonna be still as a motherfucker. And then some people are like, oh shit, I got a fucking candy bar in my pocket. Here you go, like, and try to sway the dog to not bite them. And as I was, going through the training, shout outs to Lewis, Chicago, what's up? And I was all week long like, yo, I ain't telling him about my show. Pop up his TV, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, right? We wasn't there for that. It was business. But I did tell him, like, yo, plainly, I'm never going to Chicago. And, ex-gang member, obviously been doing great work in the community, paying it forward, teaching brothers like myself that want to make a difference and giving us training on a lot of different aspects. So training was phenomenal, right? And I got paid to do it. But I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is different out there in Chicago. I'm never going to Chicago. And he's like, nah, it's actually a real nice place to, visit and live. And I'm like, nah, nigga, not the shit that I seen. But anyway, those 4 responses is how you may deal with a traumatic event. Then after it happens, things can trigger it. For instance, before we get back to the scumbag that allegedly killed the son, and then we get to another topic. For instance, for me, right? Although I was the cause of myself going to prison, right? Playing with them hammers, doing a lot of crazy shit that a lot of us do coming from the hood. So although I'm hard on it because I'm removed from that now, I know that it still could be rehabilitation for some, not everybody. I feel like I'm not that person no more. I know I'm not that person no more. But at one point in time, you rub a nigga the wrong way, you step on a nigga's shoes, you look too long, you do certain things. This is how we was giving it up. And this is still how some people is giving it up. But that don't mean they can't Tony. There was no other way and reverse it, right? But anyway, one of the things that was, a traumatic, event for me was going to prison, even though I put myself there. And so, what's a trauma trigger? And I'm only just bringing this up not to give this scumbag an excuse or justification, but this is something I learned, and maybe this is something you didn't know and you can learn from this. Anyway, for me, I recently had housing court, right? Fucking scumbag landlord. These niggas be the worst, right? And he took me to court, or they took me to court, I took them to court, etc. And just going back down to court triggered my past traumas. Taking my shit out of my pocket, going through the metal detector, seeing the police, going into these buildings. And, instantly I was agitated, I was frustrated. I started getting heightened and getting aggressive, as he was explaining some of the triggers, how we identify them, how we can work on getting past our traumas once you identify them, once we know what triggers us, etc. I'm sitting there listening to class like, oh, that's why, you know what I mean? Because, when you go to court and you're on Rikers, you're going back and forth to court, you handcuffed, back of the bus, 40 of us. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough, right? Some Inspector Deck, Wu-Tang shit, right? I'm like, damn, this is why. Because when I was going to court, it was a stressful, it was a traumatic event for me. Even though I caused myself to be there by committing the crimes that I did, now when I'm going through the metal detector and going, take your pocket, we gotta warn you, and those type of things. Another thing real quick, sitting in the circle, right? For AA, even though I wasn't an alcoholic, or substance abuse, even though I wasn't a druggie or whatever, I may have sold some drugs, but they still make you sit in these circles with the meth heads, the crack heads, whatever drugs some individuals choose to use to, lessen their pain. Those things were triggers for me. So anyway, I have to say, it's a lot of people dealing with trauma. They don't know they're dealing with it. They may forget it. They may bury it deep. I'm not saying that that's what this brother was dealing with. I'm not saying that whatever his baby moms might have put him through, because it ain't no excuse. But be mindful, because we look at people who are mentally challenged, mentally disturbed, mental health. We look at them like, yo, they just crazy. He putting shit all over him. He walking the streets barefooted and he's sitting on the ground and just doing the most. You never know what they went through. You never know what they went through. You never know how it affected them, and years later how it still could be affecting them. And a lot of us, the last thing of what I learned is everybody dealing with some type of trauma. And even if it didn't affect you directly, for instance, you might have seen your mom's getting her ass whipped by your father or your stepfather, right? Simping ain't easy. Anything goes when it comes to hoes because pimping, I mean, like, your mom's got her ass whipped by your stepdad, by your real father, and you told Harpo to beat me, right? And years later, when you see, you know, or you with a man or you with a woman, etc., and y'all arguing all the time, or certain events come up, it triggers you. You may not know why, but you're triggered because you've seen domestic violence in the home. You might have seen your moms get her ass whipped and then go make your pops a plate of food. So now that gives you the fawn response. So anytime it's any aggression, anytime it's, you know what I mean, something that's done to you, you may want to please. You may want to say, oh, well, I don't really want to argue. I don't really want to, you know, be going back and forth. So here go a play, baby. Or, you know, what you need me to do. You may respond in that way. But, you know, it's no excuse. And lastly, before we get off this topic, I often quote that if I had power and I had the fucking gauntlet like Thanos, and I could just snap my hands and erase half humanity, I would put people through a vigorous process to prove you are worthy and deserving of having a child, procreating. If it was up to Lee, if I ruled the world, a lot of y'all would be fucking childless. Yeah, like you wouldn't even have no kids. And you're like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck you think you talking to? On some Fat Joe shit. I'm just speaking hypothetically, so if I triggered you, then I meant to. But it's just something to think about. Think about all of the people you know that had kids, right? So was loosey-goosey with their vagina. So loosey-goosey with their seed busting off in anything. Instead of just popping and breezing, you popped off, the grippers gripped on, and you end up skeeting to the window, to the wall. Now you got a child. Now you got 3, 4, 5 kids. In fact, I met people today, both men though, and that also goes to show that, you know, men and women are not the same. One had 13 kids, the other had 11 kids. Now we seen women that had 9, 10 kids and what have you. I don't know why this phone is doing this. We live on Instagram and we live on YouTube. For those that's tuning in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I said, damn, you got 13 kids, my nigga? That's crazy, crazy. Shit crazy. And if a man wanted, he probably could have 10 kids a day. If he just go around just popping off, you could populate the earth. But everybody is not deserving of being a father. And every woman is not deserving of being a mother. So I respect those who don't have children. And I don't have any children for myself. Not that I'm not worthy. That's why I started with the two step kids, if you will. The 2 boys, small boys. That's what I affectionately call them. Help raise them. I think I did a decent job, and I think I was worthy of that. But I'm sure I would do a good job with my own kids if I was to have some. But it would be a vigorous process if I was in charge. And y'all think Trump is doing some shit. It'd be like, yeah, you got to do all this shit, go through evaluation, go through a vigorous process before you even can get skeeted in. You ain't going to have no babies. Because we see too many in society where parents, men and women, are unfit. They do the most. They unabsent. They neglect their kids. They kill their kids. They beat their kids. They scold their kids, put them in hot water. They do shit. And what happens is, when you a piece of shit parent, all you doing is creating monsters to go out in society. Then the rest of us got to deal with that shit. Because in my household, even though the kids wasn't mine, we raised them to be upstanding citizens. Not on some robot shit, but just, you know, high moral, high character, high thinking individuals, right? So that they can be productive. so that when they outside, they ain't a menace to society on some old dog shit. Then there's some of us who ain't present, we ain't doing what we supposed to do, and your kids become menace to societies, and it's not till prison, something else affects their life to where they get in and say, oh, I see I was doing the most. I was doing some foul shit. I was a foul individual. Now let me reverse it like a circle and change. And so just think about that. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got the tools to procreate don't mean that you should. Doesn't mean that you should. Just because you got the organs and you got a willing participant that's just going to let you come in them and they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You don't give a fuck because you know you ain't going to show up. You know you're not going to be present. It's like, hey, I told this bitch I ain't want no kids. She let me come in. Oh, well. You know what I mean? That's some people's mindset. And it's an evil world out here, or some future shit. It's an evil world out here. People do the most. So they go have 4 and 5 kids. No, no parental guidance, no raising them from boys to men, showing daughters that, yo, no, be a come on, baby. What's the come on, baby? This next topic. Come on, baby. That's a come on, baby. Come on, baby, too, physically, like they were saying in the Diddy trial. He like to get cummed on his nipples, and like you get cummed on, but you also will come on, baby, like the song. Come on, baby, come on, baby. And this is the next topic. Real brief, I seen this shit on Instagram, and I got a few topics, and we gonna get out of here. But first, let me check the score real quick again. Oh shit, Thunder, 19 seconds left. It look like it's gonna be tied 2-2. Halliburton after that game 2, side note, came back and said, y'all niggas say I'm not a superstar. And Indiana Pacers won the second game. And every time he scores 20, I think they are 9-1 or 8-1. Let me check the score real quick to see how much points he got before I get to this next topic. Halliburton, he only got 18. That's why they probably losing. He got 18. He ain't scored 20. You see him right there, Halliburton. He got 18. Maybe that's why they're going to lose this game. But every time he scores 20, they win. Anyway, let's get to this next topic. And it's aligned with Father's Day, Mother's Day, children, etc. Seeing this shit was wild. But again, when you put the beat on, I'm not shocked in the maze. All right, I'm not sure where this is at. It looked like it's the Bronx, but it could be Brooklyn. I don't think it's Harlem. I didn't recognize the landmarks. I don't think it's Harlem. I think it's the Bronx. Anyway, it's mad kids doing what kids do sometimes. And I won't sit up here and act like I'm an angel. Like I just told y'all, I did shit, went to prison, shot people, been shot at, sold drugs, did shit, and some things, obviously I'm not proud of. It is what it is. I lived, I learned, I have regrets on some whole, gotta learn to live with regrets. Just like everybody else. Nobody's a fucking priest and a nun and you just come out and everything is perfect. Sometimes you fuck it up a little bit and then you learn like, oh, that was all the way wrong. Let me Tony reverse it. There was no other way. So when you got a whole lot of kids together, what happens is it's like the angry mob. Before I show y'all the video. Do you do what they do? Or do you think about what your parents taught you? Do you think about your own inner voice and say, oh, no, I'm definitely not doing that. And if I do this shit, I'm definitely not doing this and recording myself doing this shit so you can be, locked up, charged, and ultimately do time, even as a kid. So there's some shit that happened in the Bronx. I don't know where it was at. I'm assuming it's the Bronx. Y'all can see what they doing. They going crazy, right? Shit crazy. What they doing? They shaking ass. Crazy. They hype. The angry mob is hype. They shaking ass. They shaking ass. And we live on YouTube and we live on Instagram. Follow these colors. Anyways, right? They shaking ass. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Y'all know the song. Don't stop, pop that, let me see you doo-doo brown. I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock. Let me hear you say, hey, hey, and more hey. And as a kid, when that song came on, we couldn't wait. Like as a young male, you know, because as soon as when Luke came on and that song came on, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the girls are doing what they doing now. They just start popping their asses, shaking their asses. As the pink lesson from YouTube, she like shaking a little thought pocket, right? We couldn't wait, because we would get behind them, let them dance on us, and I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock. And when you see that, a lot of things run through my mind. First and foremost, like, damn, I'm glad that's not my call. Foul. Because if that was my call, I'd probably get my ass whipped. Because you see how many kids it was. So although they kids, 100 kids against one adult, you probably going to get your ass whipped. Even if you in the right, and they ain't going to give a fuck. Suck a dick, nigga, SMD or whatever, whoop-de-woo, or throw a brick at you, throw a bottle at you, break your shit. But I cut the video off, but at the end of the video, you hear the siren, whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police, just like you heard outside, right on time, right? Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Police come, they all start running. Everybody don't run, but they start looking at the car that they just was shaking their asses on. And the car got obviously all type of dents in it, etc. And you say, damn, bro, this shit probably wouldn't happen in no white neighborhood. And I gotta say it like that. Some of y'all, that's gonna burn your ears, but it's like you don't really see too many. I mean, you may see it online, but what I'm saying is it's not prevalent like it is in our community. You ain't gonna just see no white girl as soon as they hear some music or anytime it's recorded, they're gonna shake their ass. Now maybe because they don't got no asses and they got no ass at all. They ass at all, right? So they ain't really shaking their ass. But these are young girls. So first of all, I think of the crowd like, damn, they fucked these people car up. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that runs through your mind. Then the second thing is Angel Reese, even though she ain't got nothing to do with this, right? When she was like, I don't want to be sexualized, right? And then a couple other things like, oh, black women is the most unprotected, and we don't want to be sexualized, and they say we hypersexual and all these buzzwords. And as I watched the video a few times, I'm saying, damn, bro. Rick Ross must have really put Molly in our champagne and we ain't even know it. Take her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm being funny, but I'm not. Why do black women, black kids, because these are little girls, right? And if a man was to look at them, we spoke about this topic a few times. I think when I did speak about it was a dude. I don't know if he was from prison or where he was from, but he was like, why I can't look at them? But he wasn't saying it in a sexual way, like salivating at the mouth and rubbing his hands like Birdman, like, yo, I take these young girls down. He wasn't saying it like that. For those that was trying to say that he was saying it like that. As a man who ain't with that at all, I got little nieces, little cousins, etc. We don't play those games over here, right? And I'm going to protect any woman in my family, even when they're wrong. Not going to let just anything happen to them. Now, after the fact, I might go ham, egg, and cheese, hard as a motherfucker in the back office, as I like to say, on the bat line, curse them out, might even shake the shit out of them. Like, yo, you just risked my fucking life. You just had me come out, woo, 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 and But I'm not going to let nobody disrespect you like that or put their hands on you. So that's who I am, right? And I'm sure it's a lot of brothers that stand on business for the women in their family, even though the narrative is, oh, men don't protect black women and we the most unprotected. Nah, y'all be doing the fucking most. just like these girls in the video. So they're young. Why as soon as when the music come on or when the phone come out, the first thing they go to is shaking their ass. And they got the little poom poom shorts on. Some of them is more developed than others because the McDonald's. And you want McDonald's? I got McDonald's. You can't afford it. You want welfare. Like we eating all this McDonald's and all these GMOs and all these antibiotics. Yeah, I'm saying antibiotics, but y'all know that's not what I really want to say. So that shit is fattening us up and doing shit to us and making us develop more than we probably should be at certain ages. And some just naturally, right? Why is that the first thing that they go do? Is shake their funky ass. And I'm saying funky because I'm being funny, but I'm not. Why? Smacking each other asses and the LGB5s. All this shit is mixed in. I'm saying, damn, why do we do this? Why is this the representation of us most of the time? I'm not going to say everybody because everybody is not with that. Some got home training, some not going to film themselves doing crime, and some are not over sexually or hypersexually going to do that. And you may say, oh, it's not a sexual dance. And Africans was doing that. In Africa, we used to walk with our titties out. We in 2025, we ain't in Africa. We been ain't in Africa. If you FBA, if you a foundational black American, if that's what you go by. We been not in Africa for years and years and years and years. We over here fighting for reparations that they never gonna give us. If your daughter is in the video, right? Father's Day weekend, we're gonna keep the thing going. Mothers who be shaking their ass on the fucking tables at these restaurants and these lounges where the owners got to get on the back line and make motherfucking rules because you don't know how to conduct yourself as a whole grown woman. When you see a video like this, and I ain't going to drag it because the point should be driven home already. When you see the video, Kareem Akbar, you are the true leader of the CMB, and if I'm going down, taking everybody with me. What goes through your mind? If you're a female, if you're moms, and you're 13-year-old, you got a 13-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter, 15, 16-year-old daughter that be wearing that chokey shit around their neck, which I think is inappropriate. And if I had daughters, they wouldn't be wearing that shit. If they did, they would be wearing what I told them they could wear. Then when they get outside, they change with some Batman shit. Superman jump in the phone booth, come out, ta-da! Yeah, my dad think I had this on, but now I put this on. My kids would be that kids, and then when they come home, they would have the exact same shit that I gave them approval of. Otherwise, my cozy souls would be in their ass. Yeah, that's who I'm going to be. My foot is going to be in your ass because you're going to do what I say or you're going to get to stepping. Like Martin said, get to stepping, Gina. If you can't abide by the rules, I pay the bills, I pay for your education, I pay for your clothes, I pay for your food, I pay for that fucking iPhone, I pay for all your little tablets and your fucking PlayStations and all that shit. Oh, you're going to follow my rules or you're going to get your ass whipped. And you may have to call BCW on you. That's where I come from, right? And that doesn't always work, but I'm just telling you how I'm giving it up. And when I see these videos of these kids, especially just the girls, because we know some of them wear shit that's inappropriate to a lot of men. Women may not see it like that, and this is the last thing I'll say before we get to the next topic, right? I got a lot of male friends, obviously, right? They got daughters. They have hard times with their kids' mothers about what's appropriate to wear, makeup they should wear, extensions they should be not wearing, certain areas and things that they should be not allowed in, etc. And obviously, this is the world. We all gotta die. We all gotta go. None of us knows when. And you could be 5 years old, you could be 2 years old, like how we started the show, that little boy who got killed by his own fucking scumbag father, right? Or you could live till you're 160. The men seem more, or at least all of my friends, more stern, more protective, more like, yo, why are we rushing them to put makeup on their face? Why are we rushing them to put weave in their hair? Why are we rushing them to put the little choky shit on their neck? Like, what's that about? Let them be fucking little girls, right? Before they even know what the hardships of being a woman and becoming a woman has to offer. Why rush them into that? Let them be fucking little girls. Why are we letting them wear certain shit, do certain shit, be influenced by their friends? And we think, and I know I said I was gonna say that and then get to the next topic, but what that made me just think of the episode of The Cosby's, right, which was one of my favorite shows growing up. And it's the episode where our favorite mom, who had a crush on her, obviously, Claire Huxtable, Felicia Rashad, right? It's an episode where Vanessa and her friends, they was like doing some little dance shit, you know, the dance that's out, the new trending shit. But they had like tissue in their bras or socks in their bras to make their titties look bigger, right? Your tatas. And they had a little eyelash on, etc. And when Claire seen this shit, she scolded them, told the other two, like, listen, I don't know what your moms is allowing in your house, but I'm not allowing my daughter to do this shit. Go upstairs, clean that shit off, and I bet not ever, no, forever catch you doing this shit again. And then when she went to school, she didn't have the makeup on, but the same two girls. Then another girl came in the bathroom. They was putting their little eyelashes on. They're like, yo, I think they was 14, and they're like, this gonna make us look 17. And the boys that's in senior year or whatever, you know, whatever other years that, they gonna think we older. And they influenced her to put the shit on. Why are the mothers influencing their daughters to do this shit? Why they not fighting like a motherfucker to stop their daughters from being grown too early? When you know it's teen pregnancy, when you know 1 out of 4 women been drained and all, like even by people in their own family. That's the fact. You can run from it, you can dread it, but destiny arrives all the same. And I'm not saying that like boastfully. It makes me sad to even hear that, those statistics, right? But it's the truth. And even 1 out of every 6 males has that happen to them, and it might be more because these is only the boys that are honest. Because you know us boys, and we don't like to cry, or we told we can't cry. You definitely not telling nobody you was touched inappropriately as no boy. You're not telling them that. Yeah, my uncle touched me. My dad's friend touched me. My mom's, her friend touched me. Wanted to see my pee-pee. You're not telling them that. So it's underreported. But what's reported from young girls and women, obviously, 1 out of 4. That's a lot. That's 4 out of every 10. You know what I mean? That's a lot. You batting 400 if you in the major leagues. If you in the major leagues, right, baseball, and you bat 4 out of every 10, you doing hella good. So that's a high statistic. Why, when you know that, and you hear celebrities come out all the time, women, the Me Too movement, and I sat on this for 20 years. Bill Cosby me. He Bill Cosby me. He R. Kelly me. He P. Diddy me. That's why I didn't want to come out and say nothing, because y'all look at us with the side eye like, bitch, why you waited for 20 years? 2 years ago, prime, you waited for 30 years? You 70 now. You said this shit happened when you was 40? And I'm dramatizing it, and I'm being dramatic, and I'm being funny, but I'm not. Trying to drive the point home to say, I ain't even got no kids. And even though I helped raise 2 boys that wasn't mine, I only can imagine if these was my babies from my nutsack and it was the girls, my nigga, shorty in the back, I'm not allowing them to do, I'm going to be so overprotective, maybe too much. But I'd rather be overprotective than to be too loosey-goosey and let them do what the fuck they want, that as soon as when a song come on, they know how to back and shake their fucking ass. Are you proud of that as a parent? I know I wouldn't be. I asked them, could they stand in front of the room? Again, I deal with children now, right? At my job, so I had to get trained. All week I got training, Monday to Friday, and I got to work tomorrow, and I got to be to work early in the morning. Got the Juneteenth parade going on in Harlem, and obviously it's Father's Day weekend, then Juneteenth. Got a lot of shit going on, so I will be to work early tomorrow, right? But why do we allow our daughters to do certain things when we know what type of climate we living in? That's a question, right? And that gets us to this. Be a father to your child. LGB and the Bulldogs. But this was another topic I seen, and I'm not gonna blame the moms. That's not what we're gonna do right now, but I find it interesting. I'm not even gonna play her whole clip. But we just really wanna hear what she gotta say, then go to the two boys and what they allegedly did.
As a mother, I never imagined I would be writing a plea like this, but today I speak out not only for my children, but for every child whose rights and dignity continues to be violated by a system that claims to protect them. My two teenage children, both minors, have recently been wrongfully accused of a series of serious charges. These allegations alone are traumatic enough for any family to face, but what followed has made this ordeal even more devastating. Despite being minors, my children's name, faces, and court hearing footage were broadcast on Channel 2 News, where millions could see. Their identity was exposed to the public, their reputation tarnished, and their safety jeopardized, all based on unproven allegations. I was not even notified or present for the court hearing that was shown on the news. There was no regard for their rights as children, no attempt to prove. As a mother, I never imagined I would be writing a plea like this, but their dignity and no consideration for their lasting mental and social damage this kind of exposure creates. Our children are being criminalized and dehumanized before they've even had a fair chance.
I'm gonna just stop that right there, right? Mother of 5. I don't know if they all got the same father. I don't know if she, on her own, on my own, Patti LaBelle. What we do know from what we pulled up.
They were
Some brothers are in custody after police say they shot up a birthday party.
Shot up a
But
birthday
all the
party.
people you're trying to impress, guess what? Ain't none of them where you're sitting right now.
That's the judge that they appeared before who told them she sees too many young people with guns running and ruining their lives. John 2 Tom Jones is live in Clayton County. Tom, that judge seemed disturbed, to say the least, over how the young defendants, how young they are.
They are young.
Yeah, that's true, Karen. Judge Latrivia Case Johnson said the brothers look like babies. She told them that she has children their age. She wanted to know, why is it that...
I'm not even gonna let that play. Allegedly, maybe, kind of, sort of. These two young males, right? Brothers. Went to a party, uninvited, didn't like the fact that they was told to leave, spun the block, came back with the blicky, shot up the place. Nobody died, fortunately, to my knowledge, right? And it's amazing, right? That the moms is like, yo, even though I get it, she like, they haven't been convicted yet, which they haven't. They only been charged. They are minors, 12 and 13. The new law is about to kick in where they want to try minors as adults, right? And in certain states, you can do that. It's wild. Even the judge like, yo, y'all allegedly did the shit, and then you filmed it. Then you jump right online like, yo, we shot that shit up. We did woo, 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 and And I'm like, yo, why does this era constantly break the law, and then you put it on social media? What are you thinking? Do you want to get away? Or do you want to go to jail? And you going to jail now like the bus driver. You spit on me and you talk crazy to me, you going to jail. But not only are you going to jail, but you're going to get this, you're going to get this fucking uppercut to your face. Because I'm not going to just take anything just because I'm a city worker and let you do anything to me. Now, do I think he was wrong? This is back in the World Star days. Obviously, some of y'all probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But some of y'all like, oh, shit, I remember when the MTA bus driver dude uppercutted that girl and threw her ass off the fucking bus. You going to jail now, right? They should put that shit on a t-shirt. You going to jail now. As soon as we commit the crime and we get away, yo, look at me. Woo, 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 I just finished killing them niggas, blood. Just finished killing them niggas, cuz. Yo, we shot them niggas up, cuz. Yo, we just broke in the jewelry store. We did a snatch and grab, cuz. Yo, look at us. Look at the background. Look at them. Make sure you get the serial numbers on that money. What was the niggas got caught in the pandemic? Forget hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this real quick.
I'm a ride top.
I'll play that in a minute. But let me share this link with my guy real quick. Then I'll get right back. After my live pull up, my nigga. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Where was I at? Forgot my train of thought. Anyways, right? We cannot just film ourselves after we break the law. The goal is to, if you even in this lifestyle, right? And if you're about that life. I was once upon a time about that life, and now I'm not. I can't even imagine being back in the days doing, like, it's crimes that I got caught for, and then it's crimes that I didn't get caught for, and I hope I never get caught for, because the statute, you never gonna hear me talking about it, or you never gonna hear me like, woo, but the point is, today's era, Gen Z, the millennials, whoever they are, the new people, right? Like, y'all new niggas, y'all some new niggas. Soon as when you get away, you pull out your phone, you getting away in the Batmobile when you filming yourself, waiting for the police to come get you. You tell on yourself, oh, that's the train of thought that I was gonna say. During the pandemic, right? It was some people that did the PPP loans, right? And I guess they, figured it out. They cracked the code. Tory Lanez, I cracked the code. Like, you cracked the code, and you became Neo, and you are the one, right? Matrix. And after they got the money for the PPP loans, they in the video doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I think a rap video or whatever they was doing. And what happened was the feds, right? The alphabet niggas, right? They seen the serial, this fake money, so this prop money. Just like this is prop gun for anybody. It's like, oh, I thought you was non-violence and you work for organizations that's against violence. I am. But this is a prop gun. This is the Deadpool. You see Deadpool right here. This is the Deadpool gun, and it's fake. It's not a real gun, folks. Anyway, they seen the serial numbers in the video, and they end up peeping game and locking them up. So, oh shit. Like the meme or the nigga from The Wire that be doing this shit. Oh shit. So you telling me niggas did the crime, niggas got away with the crime, then they filmed and told on themselves in one of the classical movies of all time. If you a cinema person like me. I'm a movie buff. I can tell you about 100,000 movies. Lines, actors, what year they came out, etc., right? Goodfellas. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Paulie, all of them, right? After they did the cigarette heist, and they booked them for $6 million, or was it $2 million or something, like $4 million or some shit? What did he tell the people that was involved with the jukes? What he told them? Lay low. Don't buy no expensive gifts. Don't do nothing that brings attention to yourself. And what did they do? Niggas did the what's the nigga? Frank Lucas, right? Came in with the mink on. Niggas was coming in with the mink on. With their wives, with the mink on. One nigga brought a pink Cadillac. And as they was coming into the bar, Robert De Niro was looking at them like, yo, you know, he played a mobster role. Encore. You know what I mean? One of the best. You looking at all of these niggas like, yo, are you fucking serious? You walk in and one dude even took the mink off the wife. Like, yo, take this shit off. You fucking kidding me? We pulled all these elaborate moves to stay safe in the, you know what I mean, to beat the law and get away with the crimes that we committed? And you gonna walk in here with matching minks? You gonna pull up in the caddy? You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, cause you niggas don't listen, right? And like Prodigy said, oh, y'all niggas is killers now, right? Oh, y'all niggas is killers now, right? What'd he do? He bodied them niggas. He bodied like 13 niggas. Everybody that was down with the heist. He bodied all of them. And what? Dead men don't tell no stories. Dead men don't point no fingers. How you gonna tell when you dead? Right? Because when the lights go off, they don't come back on. This ain't a flick, you ain't gonna come back on. You not that strong. You knew it was wrong, but you asked for it, baby. Rest in peace, DMX. Ski mask for it, baby. Kill you, dummy. Telling on yourself. And what Ghost and Ray say on the purple tape? Them flower heads must have been stupid. Tell me how the fuck black niggas get caught with all that loot, kid. That's jet money, underground money, submarines and things. Too bad you fucked up, dummies. Too bad you fucked up, dummies. You got submarine money. Come on. You got away. You got away. And who gets away in today's time where the eye in the sky is everywhere, nigga? The eye in the sky can see you. Soon as when you step out your apartment, cameras in your building, you on camera. Cameras in front of your building, you on camera. You walk to the next, like your whole fucking existence is on camera since we live in the camera age now. So even when you got the poo shiesty on and all that, now they got your height, how you walk, how you lean, your posture, all that shit, bro. They got it. So you're not getting away. And what's going to happen is you're going to become a resident of Queens, and you did it and done. You did it and done, nigga. We have to stop telling on ourselves. I don't even know where I had this stuff. Probably right here. You get away with the crime? Shh. Shut the fuck up. Be quiet. Like the movie, what was it? Don't Speak or Quiet? Where if you spoke, the aliens or whatever came. Who was the Lupa or whatever her name is? She's in Black Panther, but I can't think of her real name. But she's gorgeous and she fine. She was with the black brother, then she ended up getting with the Zaddy, the white nigga. Lupio, whatever the fuck her name is, right? The movie where the aliens and all that shit came, and if you spoke or you made noise, they came and got you up out of there. After you break the law and you get away with your crime, maybe even for a little while. Shut up. Stop posting it. We so caught up in the wave that you had a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old allegedly shoot up the crowd, shoot up the party, then post about it. Yo, we shot the party up, guys. We lit. We got away. And now they're locked up. Reckless endangerment, unauthorized firearm, and whatever else charges that they're going to stick them with. Come on, people. We got to be smarter than that. The goal is to get away. If you're going to break the law, and you know what I'm going to say next. You hate the law, nigga, break it. I don't care. But when you get caught, remember that. I don't care. Noriega. I'm going to take a leak real quick. Come back with like 2 more topics. And we out of here. But before I go to the restroom, the game is final. OKC won. Excuse me. They tied up the series. 2-2 was no doubt in my mind. that they was going to win tonight. Because if they lost tonight, the series probably would have been over. Because the only team that came back in the finals down 3-1 is LeBron James. And last year, me and my nigga Great Fire, we made Kyrie and Luka. This year, we made SGA and Halliburton. And while I go use the restroom, I'm going to let y'all hear this shit. Yeah, kid. Let me know if you like it. Here we go. You know what it is, and you know what it sounds like. The parlay chasers, the OKC the Pacers, the Halliburton makers, the double-digit shakers. I'm flying up the lane like a plane on a racer. The Scorpion get over here and now they gotta face us. It's MVP to Gilchrist, to step back in the steel switch. The backcourt is the ill mix, the Jalen's, the Naismiths. Pascal, get your home check. To win it, it's a big flex. Been giving out games so long, I need a big check. Years in the making, been flying, popping, faking. Hit the bat line, swoop down, and I ain't waiting. Get him like Jason, the verse is cinematic, the flows is fantastic. I'm giving out the work to the fiends in the attic. You ain't coming to play, you go and get your ass kicked. If it goes 7 games, it might be a classic. SGA, Halliburton, Bird, Magic.
The parlay chasers, the OKC the Pacers, the Halliburton makers, Bronny on the Lakers, PSP the Sega, 2 controller have to be a player, then it's not ramen, Obi toppings, double D light, everybody popping, Pal Siakam, Thunder here to shock 'em, after he the problem, Jay Williams another option, Samurai chop 'em, loving like got 'em, 2-way spot 'em, see the way we flying, out the park like Ryan, shorty full of trash, trying to get mills, lying out the pocket, too many crying wolves, Scott Lane pop it, Jacoby with the bull.
That joint is called SGA and Halliburton Fire. Now I mean the parlay chasers, the OKC the Pacers, the Halliburton makers, the double-digit shakers. I think that's better than Kyrie and Luka. Real quick, 2 more topics and then we out of here. We've been on here for an hour and some change now. I got to get up early to go to work tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of the Juneteenth celebrations in Harlem. I know they do it out in Brooklyn. I know they do it a few places since it's now recognized as a holiday, etc. But this joint definitely super fire. And we might be shooting a video on Father's Day. I'm not sure. Still waiting for confirmation for the person that's going to shoot it, etc. Anyway, real quick, let's talk about the game. We talked about the game last time after Indiana Pacers won the 3rd game. They won the 1st and the 3rd. Now it's tied up. We came on here. One of the hot topics was, is Halliburton a superstar? Is he a star, a superstar? Is he that guy? And the statistic is proven to be true. When he scored 20 or more, they 8-1 or they 9-1. When he scores under that, I think they're like 6-4 or it's a bad it's a losing record for them. I think OKC's still gonna win the series. I thought it would be a gentleman's sweep after Pacers won the 1st game. But Indiana keep proving us wrong. I think it's going to go 7, as you hear me say at the end of my verse. I'm like, if it goes 7 games, it might be a classic. I think it will go 7. I think OKC will win Game 5 now, going back home. Indiana going to win Game 6, and then it will be a take-all Game 7, next week sometime. Real quick in NBA news before we get to the last topic, if you will. I got to get out of here. My New York Knicks. Y'all know I'm a New York fan. New York Jets, New York Giants, the Islanders, the Rangers, the Yankees, the Mets, etc. Right? We fired Tom Thibodeau, and we thought we had a better option waiting in the wings. And I only want to really point this out for the men and the women, but mostly women, right? And I'm not saying if your man is beating the shit out you, if he cheating on you, he bringing you STDs, he not treating you well, he don't got no respect, that you should stay with him. I'm not going to tell you that because I went and tell my sister that. I went and tell my cousins that. I went and tell my nieces and my little cousins to stay with a man that's mistreating them, that's doing the fucking most, etc. Right? And I know I curse a lot, but it's to drive the point home. I curse a lot. The Knicks had Tom Thibodeau, and although we didn't win the big chip, we didn't get to the finals last year or this year, we fired him thinking that the grass was going to be greener. Like, oh, we're going to go get Jason Kidd. Oh, we're going to go get such and such. Oh, we're going to go get such and such. Oh, we're going to go get such and such. And a lot of women, after you leave your man, again, not if he's a habitual cheater, a liar, a beater, an abuser, a narcissist, and all of the buzzwords, right? Out there just creating babies in broken homes. Decent guy. If your guy was decent, like Tom Thibodeau, get you close every year, getting better and better, but you think the grass is greener. So what you do, you leave your man. You fuck with the side nigga. You think you got something lined up. And most women do. This is, most men don't. This is just statistics. Some could be accurate, some cannot be. But I'm kind of more side on the women having niggas in the wings, waiting. Because it's always the guy that's like, yo, let me tell this nigga to pull up. There's always a guy that's waiting in the wings. It's always a guy that gonna keep trying and trying and trying and hope that he catch you on a good day. Bad day, but a good day. Bad day for you, good day for him. Oh, your man is, you know what I mean, fucking up and not treating you well. Come over here, queen. Let me take you out, queen. Here go my number, queen. Let me talk to you, queen. And the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. And ding dong, nobody's at the door knocking. Nobody's rushing to come coach the New York Knicks. Who we gonna get? Striking out. Striking out on everybody. And there's still some candidates, and I know I kind of dragged that and flipped it and bounced it a little bit. There's still nobody coming yet that's creditable. Could they get Mark Jackson? Yeah, maybe they can. Could they get, you know, such and such or whoever? Maybe. But you fired a coach, and I get it. Maybe that was his max out, you know, point, getting us to the conference finals, and we can't get over the hump. Maybe it's the players. Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Ginobili. Maybe they just didn't put up enough. But how many games we gonna win this year? I don't know. Other NBA news, Giannis looked like he's gonna stay in Milwaukee, and I'm not even mad at him for that. It's like, oh, do I really want to go with the New York Knicks? Do I want to go somewhere else? And Kevin Durant gave his list of teams that he might entertain. Knicks was one of them, but Knicks wasn't at the top. I believe it was the Houston Rockets, it was Miami, it was Minnesota. I can't think of no other teams, but I'm like, those are good teams. He ended up getting to those teams, but I would love him to come to the New York Knicks. The last topic of the night, folks, is about hip-hop. I told y'all my show is, you know, sports, entertainment, hip-hop, interviews, and Popavisms 101, and of course, motivation. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, you know what I mean? I've been seeing a lot of this lately. And there's no right or wrong answer or reasoning, because hip-hop is selective. It's opinion-based. Although men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Although it's opinion-based, we can look at the stats or statistics, if you will, and say, how many platinum albums you got? How many hits you got? How many classics, you know what I mean? Like, what you got? How many bars you got? Like Cannabis said, if you stare at me long enough, I start to read your thoughts like, how many rhymes you got? Because I could go on for more millennials than Mazda got on the car lot, and there's nowhere to run to. When I confront your shit, I pull you like you got a phone number. I pull your car like you got a phone number. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about some young niggas, and that's why I started in the beginning of the show, like, excuse me, old heads, young heads, who's right, who's wrong. Nobody's really right and nobody's really wrong. However, I'm a little biased, and this is why I'm biased. If you a young nigga, right? You a YN, you just start listening to hip hop. It's 2025, so let's say you started listening to hip hop in 2005, right? Well, let's say you was born 2005. You 20 now. So if you didn't go back and do your homework and listen to the artists of yesteryear, you ain't gonna know all the ins and outs. If you ain't studied the classics, like Game said, studied all the classics, started revising my strategy, because Big made it, Martin Matthews made it, right? You're not gonna have nothing to reference yourself. You could say, oh yeah, Kodak Black is fire. You could say Lil Durk is fire. You could say anybody that's relevant now is fire, right? Because they may be. However, if you ain't listening to Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Black Moon, Tribe Called Quest, Leaders of the New School, Lox, and Lox is still, they're an old group now. They came out in '96. Warlocks, right? Mason Bethel, Cameron, Dipset, Black Rock, rest in peace, Scarface, MC8, like whoever you could think of, 8-Ball MG8, right? And I could go on like Mazda's got cars on the car lot. And that line was said like, because Mazdas don't sell. So I could go on for more millennials than Mazda's got on the car lot. Because they're going to have a lot of cars because nobody's buying fucking Mazdas, right? Niggas ain't even catch them balls. The Kanye Wests, the Drakes, the Lil Waynes, right? Like he just came out. I didn't listen to the album yet, but he just came out with the Carter 6, right? The last Carter album that I think I listened to was the Carter 3 with we, like Mrs. Officer and all of those songs, 6, 7, and all of those songs, right? A million, and then Nas, Jay-Z, The Game, 50 Cent, right? Here's a post where two young brothers, I think they are from down south or somewhere in the region, and they talk about Jim Jones, who we spoke about last week, right? And we was like, because Jim Jones, he stayed in the news cycle, whether it's arguing with Cam, whether it's, I battle anybody from my era, you know what I mean? Battling anybody, I don't care if you tell, like LL was hard as hell, you know what I mean? Rock the bells. And this young brother and another young brother, they argue on the fact that they think Jim Jones is more relevant than Nas, right? If you just tuning into the show and you've never seen my content before, you never watch me, I appreciate you. That's number one, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you rocking with me. I say that to say, if you've been rocking with me, then you know I got Nas as number one. I think Nas is the best MC ever. Known MCs. Truthfully, I think my man Critical, rest in peace, aka Bashir, that was his Muslim name, aka Ricky Simmons, out of Brooklyn, out of the pink houses, right? He's the best MC I ever heard in my life. He's the best. He better than Jay-Z. He better than Biggie Smalls. He better than Nas, right? Who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas? He better than all of them. But he's unknown. So people can't attest to what I'm saying. So, for the known rappers that actually made it to the league, Nas is the best. Hove, Pac, DMX, Biggie, Jay-Z, Scarface. The list goes on, right? Whoever's in your top 10, top 20, right? Jim Jones is not in my top 5. And that's no shade, because I actually got a song with Jim Jones called The Plaza with my nigga Great Fire. 7th Avenue Flow, Lennox Avenue Dough, 8th Avenue Flow, right? And Jim Jones killed it, right? His verse is fire. And I like Jim Jones. And we paid for his feature. We went to the studio. We did the song, etc. But this young brother who was 22, 23 said, in his opinion, that Jim Jones is more relevant than Nas. And I'm going to let you hear his words.
You agree with what Eli said about Jim Jones and Nas?
Being relevant?
Yeah, like Jim Jones, you said Jim Jones better than Nas.
That ain't what he said. That's what y'all need to give myself. He did not say that. He said one, that I kind of agree. He said he's more relevant. He said two, which I don't agree with. He said he got more hits. I don't agree with that one. But the relevancy is like, yeah, in the past, see, like Nas just got back on his bully like the last year or two, maybe 3. I don't really know what Black King is. Okay. But before that, Nas been kind of, you know, whatever. Life is good, but that was a minute ago.
Life is
Jim
good
been
once a while
outside,
ago.
getting with the youngins, getting with everybody he can.
What's outside?
Jim just never been on that status of Nas, so you're gonna look at it a certain way, which I understand. But Jim is very much in tune with what's going on.
Now, I'm gonna say something. Everybody that keeps bringing up Nas, I said
This the young nigga right
Nas
here.
is a better rapper.
He's way better.
Rapper, okay. I said I'll give that to Nas, but
You gotta
and I
give
said
it to him.
Classic, like culture bangers, I said Jim Jones. Relevancy, I said Jim Jones. King's Disease came out in 2020, bro. I was there.
Right, but he released the King Disease 2, 3, Blue Magic 1, Blue Magic 2, Blue Magic 3.
I don't know why everybody keeps bringing up King's Disease. King's Disease was a good album.
There's 3 of them.
Yes, I'm talking about the first King's Disease. That was the best one. And he just kept trying to remake
3 was fire.
Because he thinks now that he got Hit Boy. He thinks now that he got new beat selection, news. People going, no, bro. He's not more relevant.
Out of retirement. What are we talking about? He got a Lauryn Hill to come outside.
How Lauryn Hill features fire.
He don't never come outside.
So if he was retired, how can he be more relevant if he was retired? That don't make no sense.
He wasn't
so that
retired.
means Jim Jones is more relevant than us.
Who's more relevant, Jim or Jay?
Or Jay. You said Jim or Jay-Z? Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
How is Jay-Z more
I can't
relevant
believe
than
this
Jim
young
Jones?
brother.
If Jay-Z's last album was 4/4 and that came out in 20.
But I do want to go to another clip of the young brother because it's spinning. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about it. Here you go, right here.
You said Jim Jones has more hits than Nas?
He definitely
I'm
does.
from New Jersey. We grew up on Ballin'.
That's one.
We did not grow up on one mic. Pop Champagne, Summer in Miami. That's a classic.
I agree.
I Rule the
Those
World.
are fire
How's that
songs.
comparable to those songs you just said?
I'm 22. Every Nas
He
song
young. He a young nigga.
that my man's MJ played, we said we heard that from what, Dub?
2K.
2K. Those songs are in the video game.
Okay.
I have never in my life said at a party, yo, throwing that Nas right now. If you did
I can go
top
for
3
that.
influential people regarding dressing,
But
swag, Jim Jones is top 3.
But Nas influenced Jim Jones.
Cap, Chrome Hearts and the BB Simon's belts and all
I
that.
had
Jim
a
Jones is
few
like
of them belts too, by
top
the way. I
3.
still got
So
them.
which
I don't wear them
where
no
you put
more.
Max B?
Nobody was wearing Ed Hardy. Nobody was wearing True
Who
Religion.
gives a fuck?
Nobody was wearing Chrome Hearts. All that was white
That's
biker
fashion.
stuff.
I get it though.
He brought that into the culture.
And how old are you real quick?
23.
23.
So Nas first dropped 94, right? So that's a different time period where this is not really even checking for numbers yet. He came in at a period of just checking for the skill of the game. And you're comparing 2 different eras, and I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous.
It's the difference between being in the game and being relevant. But Jim Jones is more relevant than Nas.
Jim Jones and Nas are in the same era.
They're
Jim
the same
Jones is
age,
48
damn
years
near.
old. Nas is 51 years old. Jim Jones just wasn't a rapper and didn't know how to rap when Nas was rapping. No matter what Jim Jones has improved to, it's still not
Fucking with Nas.
Nas.
Come on.
You know
stop
what's
it,
funny?
Five.
You know what's
Stop it,
funny?
Five.
The last Nas album is not better than the last Jim Jones album. It's not better than the last 3 Jim Jones.
By what metric?
By bars, by everything. El Capo.
It's better.
The deluxe is better than.
I didn't even listen to El Capo.
You said Jim Jones has more hits than Nas?
I'm from New Jersey. We grew up on ball.
That's one.
Okay. So this is going to be the last topic. We're going to give my spill, if you will. And we're going to get up out of here. I'm in my late 40s. I know I never run from my age or run from who I am. Thus the saying of, I'm full transparency. That means you can see me because my page is open. And if you not hiding, I can see you, right? Jim Jones, Nas, we're all on the same age bracket, right? The young brother, I'm going to give him some slack. 22 years old, he could be my son, right? I'm not going to knock him. He's like, yo, we heard Nas on the game. Like, we was playing GTA or, you know, Grand Theft Auto or whatever the case. We heard the tunes in the back. A lot of young people, again, that's why I said if you was born in 2000 and you 25, you was born in 2002, 2003, you ain't listening to Nas. My nephew, 32, 33, maybe even 35, shit, you know what I mean? He just now starting to swing back and listen to Illmatic, listen to It Was Written, listen to The Blueprint, listen to Reasonable Doubts, listen to certain songs because today's music just ain't hitting like that. It's not. You get bored when you start to appreciate music. You say, let me go back and listen to the classics. Started revising my strategy like Game said. Had to start listening to the other classics. That Game album, and I may jump a little bit. It's a hip-hop topic. I get real passionate about it. And the reason why I brought up old heads and young heads is because if you are old head, right? Even though we young in life, I'm not even 50 yet. I hope to make 50. I hope you get to make 50. In fact, Nas got a song on the Blueprint, not Blueprint 3, Blue Magic 3, called Fever, which is if you roll dice and you know about that dice life, you know that Fever is a 5. So Fever is 50. He like, I wish all my peoples at least to get 50. At least. You know what I mean? I don't want you to die 20, 25, die as a baby like we started the show. I want you to at least hit 50 so you can see what life is like, right? And we know that, side note, most of the prophets, they didn't get their revelation, they didn't get their level of understanding, and they didn't elevate till they was 40, right? So I only point out my age and the era that I'm from because I heard Rakim. I came in the door, said it before, I never let the mic magnetize me no more. It's just biting me, inviting me to rhyme. I can't hold back. I'm looking for the line, taking off my coat, clearing my throat. The rhyme must be, you know what I mean? Like I heard that. I heard, you know what I mean? You're jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. You're jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. I heard I got it made. Like, I'm your idol, your highest title. Numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. And understand I got the gifts to speak, and this is a blessing. So listen to the lesson I speak. I heard Das Effect. Bum stickity bum hum. I got that old rumpa-bum, but I can fee-fi your full dilly thumb. Here I come to pay the piper. I'm hyping in Pinocchio's nose because I could tick, you know what I mean? Like I heard that. I heard, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? I heard, you know what I mean? Niggas with attitudes and straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. From the gang called Niggas with Attitudes. Bring the soul, dog. I gotta turn the trigger, them bodies all hard. I heard Coogee rap. You know what I mean? Road to the Riches. I heard everything from my era to this era. Point that I made by quoting all that, even if you don't know some of those lyrics, is that I'm a student of the game. I'm from that era of KRS-One and Slick Rick and Hey Young World, the world is your like. Slick Rick already told us, treat her like a prostitute. Don't treat no girly world until they show the stoop. Cause all they do is they hurt and trample. listen up close. Like he went from 1, 2 to 3 examples that if it came out today, it would teach and educate a lot of people, right? I'm from that era. So I heard that all the way up to now. The problem is the people that's like this young brother, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. If you was born in 2000, you only know music from 2012, 2011. You just starting to get music. Now, if you are like some young brothers and sisters who go back and listen to the classics, then cool. Not everybody does. You heard this young brother say, yo, where we heard Nas at? Excuse me. Where we heard Nas at? On Grand Theft Auto? You ain't go back and listen to Nas. You heard Nas on Grand Theft Auto. So he like, yo, Capo album, which I ain't even hear. I didn't hear the Capo album. I did listen to the Lobby Boys with him and Mano. Nas' last album, Blueprint 3, it's a classic to me. I'm from the era, so maybe I am a little biased, and when I say that, I mean substance, lyrics, concepts, synergy of an album. Not just, let me just pick 10 different songs, throw a skit on there, and now that's the album. I mean the synergy, the energy, the chronological order of the album, the thought process into the album, all that makes a classic album, right? And you guys say Nas released Blue Magic, 1, 2, and 3. So this was the closing chapter. After releasing King's Disease 1, 2, and 3. Then it's the fact of what's relevant. Because they say you broke up with your girlfriend. Because you told Cam and, Cam and Mason that get off my dick. Because you arguing with 50 Cent or you going back and forth with 50. Does that make you relevant? Because I don't really know a lot of people that was bumping the Lobby Boys. I don't know a lot of people that was bumping El Chapo. Now the young brother said he was fucking with it. So I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying that he wasn't listening. What I'm saying is driving around Harlem, driving around the Bronx and New York City, a lot of people wasn't, I didn't hear it. Nothing made me like, yo, I gotta go listen to this album because niggas is talking about it. When the Purple Tape came out, everybody was listening to it. When Biggie Smalls came out, Ready to Die, everybody was listening to it. When Snoop Dogg came out, everybody was listening to it. When The Chronic came out, everybody was listening to it. Classic albums. Then there's good albums. Jim Jones is a good rapper. Came out as a okay rapper. Got better in the game, like Mano. Who else who I consider in that category? Mano, Jim Jones. Who else was like, you know what I mean? And then over time, they got better. And I'm not shitting on them. I got a song with Jim Jones and Great Fire called The Plaza. Fire, right? And we paid for the feature. I paid for the feature. It wasn't free. I paid for the feature. Song is fire. Nothing really ever came out with the song, so it was kind of like a waste. Full transparency, just keeping it a buck. But I say that to say I fuck with Jim Jones, right? Musically, I like a lot of his songs. Like you heard the brother say, Summer in Miami, Ballin', Gangsta, East Side, Low Rider, West Side, like. But he still was looked at, even in his own crew, as the lesser of the rappers. I don't think he was better than Jewels. I didn't think he was better than Hell Rell. I didn't even think he was better than 40 Cal. I'm saying it like that because Jewels, Hell Rell, they kind of had better careers, if you will, than a 40 Cal as far as commercial success or maybe being in the public eye. Although Cal probably may look at me like, nah, nigga, I was better than all them niggas. Lyrically wise, they can't fuck with me. And I fuck with Cal, and I know Cal, right? Harlem stand up. Jim Jones was the lesser. Sheik Loops of the Locks. You the lesser. We know it's Styles, Jada, and obviously most people got Jada, then Styles, then Sheik Loops. It ain't Sheik Loops, Styles, then Jada. It ain't Sheik Loops, Jada, then Styles. No, it's Styles or Jada or Styles, then Sheik Loops. And Jim Jones was like considered the lesser. So how could a person who don't got a classic album, to me, I don't think he got a classic. Harlem Diaries, the Poe. Let me just go look at his shit real quick. Let me look up Jim Jones shit real quick. I ain't even got to do this for Nas, because I know Nas albums. What was Jim Jones on? What was his albums? The Poet something? He got all these albums? Alright, he got the Harlem Diary, which I was just quoting. Harlem, 7th Linux, Summer with Miami, etc. Harlem American Gangster. And what was the other? Capo, I didn't hear that album. But what was the Ghost of Rich? Or the point? Oh, Harlem's Poe. Or Prone. Street Religion Love, Tribute to the Bad Santana, Risky Business. Listen to none of these albums. Van Painted Life, 1, 2, and 3 might be mixtapes. He got some albums, but Nas got mad albums. And just far as bar for bar, as the young brother said, I'm not saying he can fuck with Nas bar for bar, because he can't. He can't fuck with Nas. Nas gave One Mic, I Gave You Power, Street Dreams, One Mic, If I Rule the World with Lauryn Hill. It's too many songs. The Nigga Song. Like, you know what I mean? Nas is Revolutionary Warfare. It's just coming off the top. Like, Ether. Crush Hove. So even if, you know, relevancy again is, I think the young brother is confusing spinning in the clip with being relevant. Because you could be spinning because we heard you broke up with Chrissy, not because of your music. You could be spinning because Cam and Mace was eating popcorn and you told them, like, I did a lot for them niggas. Them niggas on my dick, right? So now they talking about you. So that gets the algorithm going. That don't mean you better, because Nas keep his business quiet. Nas ain't out and about talking about who he fucking or, you know, his business ventures. He quiet. He ain't talking about the shit that he doing outside of rap. And Nas is older, so also it's the fact of, if you a young nigga and you listen to the Blueprint, I keep saying Blueprint 3. You listen to Blue Magic 3, Blue Magic 2, the substance of the album may be past your pay grade. You probably can't even comprehend the album because it's too advanced for you. He rapping over 30-something years of life experience, being in the rap game, honing his craft, so you can't even really fuck with it because you can't relate to it. So, lastly, before I get out of here, the Ed Hardy jeans, the belts, the fucking the skull faces. Yeah, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Jim Jones as far as influencing the culture, because he has influenced the culture. He influenced people to wear things or do things a certain way. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really a big fashion guy, so I could give a fuck if it's Ed Hardy or if it's some Payless. I could give a fuck. Young niggas, you know, you care if it's Beaumont jeans, Bernie Madoff or whatever it is. So you really paying attention to that. You really care about that. But as far as the lyrics, Jada, Hove, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, niggas that's nice, there's no question about their skills, gonna look at Nas and say, yo, salute. Look at Jim Jones and be like, you got better over the years. Nobody that's nice, like a Scarface, or nobody that's nice, universal, that everybody says nice, is gonna put Nas and Jim Jones on the same battle. On the same playing field. And as far as verses, if they was to do a versus, yeah, Jim Jones would come out, we fly high, we rolling, me, my fancy car, pick up my fan. Like, he gonna have some bangers, but it's not even gonna be close. That's just how I size the battle up and I judge the tape, as they say, as far as the boxers. Your reach is this, your title is this, your knockouts is this. Like, it's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be close to me. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But enjoy your weekend. It's Father's Day weekend for those that celebrate. We will be back on Monday, God willing. But y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here. One more again. Yeah, kid. Be safe, guys.